Hey everybody! So I'm doing another video because after New Year I'm going to get really busy. I'm going to try to do at least one of these videos once a week, but I just kind of wanted to catch up on a few things that I didn't get to in the past couple weeks. So one of the things that I noticed starting my waste-free journey, lifestyle, kind of whatever you want to call it, I noticed there wasn't guidelines really of like kind of where you should start and kind of how you should go along. I mean, like the end goal and stuff, but for me it helps to like kind of plan things out and to see what I'm doing next to where so I know where I'm going to end up. So I kind of had this plan all in my mind and I just wrote it out tonight, like actually on a piece of paper and in form and stuff. And then when I'm done with the paper, I will recycle it because we can recycle almost any paper. So, but let me tell you about my stages before I go into any of the other stuff. So I haven't really decided what I'll call this. My stage, maybe I'll call it something, like my stages to have a waste-free lifestyle. But it comes in 6 stages for me. You can probably break them down a little bit more than what I did, but I just kind of wanted to get like the gist of a couple different things into each stage, and then kind of break down the stages into like subcategories, I guess you would call them, and then work on those. So my first stage, that is kind of the beginning for me, is making the commitment to become waste-free and stay waste-free. That is, I think, the most important one, because you can want to become waste-free. The hard part is the commitment. I know it's been really hard for me, and the main reason for that is I don't have really any access to bulk stores up here, and so I either have to give up a lot of things, or I have to tell myself it is okay to buy this because everything of this product can be recycled in my recycle bin, or I can compost it and use the rest of it, type of a thing. So I kind of have to weigh them out, either give it up completely or just to myself, it is okay that I can have this. I just need to make sure that I take that step and commit myself to recycling it. So that's kind of my first step, and I've been doing this for probably about 2 months. I want to say about 2 months now. It's kind of been a thought in my head, and then in the process, I've been thinking about it for about a year now. I didn't take the initiative to do it until about 2 months ago, which I would recommend not thinking about doing this for a year. I would act more on it. Excuse me. So with the first stage about making that commitment to become waste-free, so it's more than just saying, I want to be waste-free, I got this, let's just jump in and do it. It's more than that. Yes, you need to be like, hey, I'm going to be waste-free, and then those little steps, like I made a piece of paper of all of our recycle rules, what we can and cannot recycle, and it hangs on the side of my parents' fridge where the garbage can is. So not is it only helping me, but if my family members choose to look at it, then they also know. And then I've also made the step to educate myself further and go beyond that. So before I explain that, I do want to mention a little bit more about the paper that has all the recycle rules for my community. So it tells me exactly what I can and can't recycle. So if I'm like making something for my whole family for dinner, it gets a little harder for me to recycle everything that I use. And so I do my best when I do make dinner for my family, that I plan out what I'm doing and I plan it around the stuff that can be recycled. And then I recycle everything that I can, and then I compost everything that I can. And then I usually have maybe 1 or 2 things that there's nothing I can do with, and so then that goes into the garbage. So having the rules and the outlines of those on the fridge, that I have a reminder every time I pass our fridge by our garbage, I'm like, okay, I know what I can do. And it's also the paper that I actually stick produce stickers on, because those you can't recycle. They're not exactly compostable, but I have to do more research into that. But I've heard from a lot of different YouTubers that you can put them on a piece of paper and mail them to artists, and they'll use them in their work. So I'm going to see if I can find some artists that I can mail those to, and keep that address on hand and have it like on a couple envelopes pre-ready, so that way I can put them on the paper, and then I can put them in when that paper's full and send them off. And I don't know what I'll do if I can't find somebody, so if you have any ideas for produce stickers, let me know, because my other choice is to put them in my waste jar, which I'll get onto that in a minute. But with the like recycling bin and stuff, I took initiative to know just more about that. Like, I know when they come, how many times a month they come, usually their pickup time type of a thing, and so I can make sure that we usually leave our recycle bin all the way up to the road, so we don't, and our garbage up to the road, so we don't have to bring it back and forth. We just walk up with our garbage and recycle stuff. And I just like, so I know when they come, so I can just make sure that the garbage is close enough to the road that they can reach it, and they won't, decide, oh, I can't get back to it, so obviously, they don't want me to pick it up, and then it's full. Like this past month, they said that the dates wouldn't be affected with the holidays, but they only came once this month, and it was on Friday, this past Friday, and we were completely full, which we haven't been completely full, I bet, in a while, because another thing that I do in this, the first stage, the commitment stage, is when I pass the garbage can, if I see any like big bottles or anything that's in the garbage can that I know can be recycled, I pull it out of the garbage can and I put it in my recycle bucket that is just kind of kitty corner and across from the garbage. So I take it a step further and I pull things out of the garbage that I can see. I mean, I don't dig through the trash or anything. I just pull the stuff off the top of it, and it makes me feel a little bit better. And so, and then the other part of it is staying committed to being waste free. So I know there's going to be hard days, especially when you first start out. I've had them, that you see something that you know can't be recycled, can't be composted or reused in any way, that is going to have to be in the garbage, but you want it. I've been there. I have caved in a little bit, but the important thing is that you get back up. You don't let that one thing be like, oh, dang it, I went out to eat, I got a styrofoam container, or I got some garbage that can't be composted, that is just trash. Obviously I can't do this, so I'm done. Don't think that way. Just be, okay, I know I'm not going to eat here next time because my area can't recycle styrofoam, which that is true for my area, and that is very sad that they can't recycle styrofoam. You can make, if you do want to eat out of that place, and you know you're going to have leftovers, but you don't want to waste that, and because, I will bring my leftovers home. If I don't eat them, they go in the recycle. Not recycle, the compost bin that I have. So what I do is, so I can bring them home, especially if they don't have a container that I can reuse or recycle, I bring my own container. I have a container that stays in my purse. This little purse holds it, and I have it with me at all times. So that's another thing to think about. I'm trying to get through these quickly, and I just realized I spent almost 10 minutes on the first stage. So this is going to be an hour-long video, so please get something to drink, and please bear with me. So my second stage, and I've kind of, real quick before I move on to the second stage, my first stage I've kind of already passed, put a check mark through. I still continued to do it You usually will continue to do all these stages, but you can progress and add another stage on top of what you're already doing. So the next one that I have is going through everything that you own and either reusing it, whether it's you regift it, or you can just like reuse it in some way, whether it's like a container or a notebook of some sort or a book of some sort, or you donate it. You can't use it anymore, and so you put it in the recycle bin. So those are kind of the things. So I am in the process of that stage of going through everything that I own. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and talked with a lot of people that are doing waste free, and they kind of have put it off that they they don't go through other stuff and get rid of the things that is waste. They wait until they use it all and then get rid of it. Well, the way I look at it is I'm going to be getting rid of it anyway. So if I can transfer it into something that a container that I can reuse now and even have that container later instead of, throwing it away into the recycle bin, then I'm going to do that. And I'd rather have all of the waste that I have now that there's nothing I can do about. I would rather collect it all and get it out now and start fresh. So that's why I put that as a second stage. And like I said, I'm still in the process of doing that. I am doing one where it's kind of a New Year's resolution. I'm going through all of my books, which is hard for me because I am more of a physical book reader. I have to hold that. I like the smell of books. I feel like you get drawn into the story more when it's physical in your hands, like turning pages. But I made the call that all of my favorite like book series or books that I have, those ones I'll keep. But the ones that I haven't touched in years, I am going to get a Kindle version onto my tablet that I have, and I'm getting rid of their other books. I'm either giving them to family or I'm taking them to the bookstore that we have and I'm donating them. Because if I'm not reading them and they're just sitting on a shelf, my new thought is somebody else could be reading those and enjoying those books. So I'm going to donate them. And I'm not going to say that I'm never going to buy another hard copy of a book again, because I know I will. And that's okay, because I can read it and then donate it back to somebody who could use it. Or if I really, really like it and I like the hard copy and I know I'm going to read the hard copy again, I can put it on my shelf. It's like not too bad. And I probably, out of all I had about 2 bookcases full of books. There's four shelves on them, not including the very, very top shelf. Those are covered in like trinkets and stuff. But I'm down to about 2 shelves of books, and those also include my college textbooks as well. Because some of the college textbooks I'm going to purchase through the Kindle app yet again, and some of them I would think the hard copy would be more beneficial to have, especially if we go through a whole blackout thing and I can't access my tablet. So things like that I'm keeping. I'm also going to go through my clothes, and anything that I don't wear in like a 2-week span I'm going to get rid of, because I usually have this thing where I wear the same clothes that I have my favorite clothes, my same ones that I like, and I wear all of those throughout the week, wash them and wear them the next week, and so on and so forth. So I figured if they're just hanging in my closet, I'm not getting the use out of them, might as well donate them and give them to somebody that will get use out of them. So, and I can make some videos about those separate things if you guys want to see how it's done and see what I do. I can do those things. You just have to drop it in the comments and let me know. So that's kind of stage through, going through your stuff, and that includes like if you have a car, going through everything in your car, everything in your bedroom, all of your food. If you have food, I don't have a ton of it because I live with my parents, but the food that I do have, and I've already mostly gone through it, but I think I'm going to go through it again and see the stuff that I'm not using right now, probably won't use, and then I'll either donate it or give it to a family member that I know will use it, especially if it's open, because you can't donate food that's open, but I can give it to a family member. So we're going to move on to stage 3, and this is one that I'm kind of doing too. I'm kind of doing stage 2 and 3 together, because I feel like that I can handle these 2 stages, but I wanted to make them separate. So if someone couldn't handle it, then they can, do them separate. So stage 3 is stop buying or allowing others to give you things that contain any waste in them. So that could include like birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, any type of holiday gifts. Just let them know you are going to a zero waste lifestyle. If they need ideas, ask you and you will compile a list and you will give it to them. I did kind of a short video right before Christmas of that on my Facebook, and so far it's great. I'm going to do some more throughout the year, especially like gift ideas for that, so it can help others. So it can help others like stocking stuffers or just normal, like birthday gifts. And we'll just kind of talk about that. But the reason I put both in there for you buying it, because usually it's easier for you to be like, nope, I don't need it. That contains, even if it's a small amount of waste, that contains a little bit of waste. I don't want to have to put that on my waste jar, so I'm going to go without that and opt for this instead. So, like one thing for me, which I can start up during the summer, as long as they still do it around in my area. But growing up, they had a thing up here which was called Bountiful Baskets, and I did that with my parents all the time. And then you didn't get the produce stickers. You didn't get any waste in them. Somebody had to be careful because, like, if you bought bread through them, they do come in bags, plastic bags. You can't recycle unless you can find a grocery store that accepts those with their grocery bags to return. Different things, like little things like that. But it's usually good if there's something in your basket you don't want. I know there was one time, like, you go early and you help put the baskets and stuff together. There was one time I went with my mom, and there was one thing that either we were allergic to or we knew we weren't going to eat it. So we told the lady and asked if we could, put our baskets off to the side and then, put this in, as an extra or switch it out for something. And they're usually really good about that. So the one you need to be strong with is telling other people. Because if you think about it, the gifts they give you are supposed to be things, oh sorry, there's a big moth, are supposed to be things that you want and you are going to use. So I don't think it's a bad thing to put something out there and say, okay, if I don't use it, I don't want it, because it's just taking up space. So just be assertive. It's okay to be assertive with this. Okay, the 4th stage is having a waste jar that all of your waste goes into. So throughout this process, again, this is one that I kind of already have, but the point of the waste jar is to get it down to where you're not putting it and having it full and you can't put any more, and so you dump it in the garbage. The point of a waste jar is to keep everything in that jar and never have to throw it away until like the day you die, and then a family member will, empty out your jar for you or something. The point is to, not exceed that jar. So right now I just have a tiny baby food jar that I've been stuffing mine in, which is almost full. And I've been doing this for about 2 weeks. So I have about 2 weeks of garbage in this small baby food jar. And then once that's full, I'm actually going to dump it into a half, I guess it's a half quart jar, half pint jar maybe. And then, I'll go up from sizes if I need to then. But my whole goal is to be able to not have to really go up a size and be able to either recycle it or not buy it. And whatever I can't help but goes into that jar. Okay, so stage 5 is kind of an overall, like your overall goal at the end. So you're coming to the end because there's only 6 stages. So that your stage 5 is becoming waste-free in all things. So, and that means that it's a second nature to think about what you're buying, what you can, what you can't, and you realize you're not buying anything with waste anymore unless it's, you can't prevent it. And when I think of being completely waste-free, that means you're as waste-free as you can physically and possibly be, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, let's go to the last stage. Last stage is pretty simple and easy. It's keep moving forward. You can always learn about new and different ways to save things, to be less waste-free. So you just keep learning and you keep moving forward. And you never stop. You never stop learning. And that's one thing that I like about this journey is that I know I'm never going to stop learning, and I'm not going to give up wanting to be waste free. I know I have had several people comment about different things that I do, especially when it's out in public, you know, close friends or acquaintances, and they're like, oh, it's just a phase. Don't worry about it. It's just a phase. It's like, you can think it's just a phase, but it's not. I don't want to leave this world in worse shape than what it has to be in. So, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, drop some comments down below, tell me what you think. I would really appreciate it. Again, I just wanted to kind of do these waste-free stages that I'm doing it as. You can create your own, use mine as a guideline, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do one more video tonight, just on kind of a New Year's resolution thing. So stay tuned for that one. I hope you guys, again, have a good night and a happy New Year's, because, you know, no one wants to have any sad holidays. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Bye.